Hey, welcome back to the Curiosity Cave. I've got a VR today for Adam at Adam's Card Closet. I'm going to show some cards, 30 of my favorite cards, and going to give you some shout outs to go along with the cards. I don't know that the cards are going to match the shout outs, but going to give you about 20 shout outs to go with 30 cards. So here we go. We'll start off with first one will be Maya Moore. I believe it's her first card. Tops. Donald's All American. She was a superstar for the Minnesota Lynx. I believe they won 4 WNBA championships with Maya Moore, and Lindsay Whalen from Minnesota, of course, was point guard. And I'll shout out Dr. James Beckett. Check out his site. He's at 963 subs, and that is the other catch for the VR. Adam would like us to shout out channels that are close to 1,000 subs because he's celebrating 1,000 subs. So, congrats, Adam. Next one I have is first year Sidney Crosby, McDonald's from Canada. And we'll shout out Shane at Shoebox Legends. He's at 995 subs. Next up we have Willie McCovey, 1972 Kellogg's. Kellogg's cards look so nice. Next up we have 1961 Kempstrand patch of Harmon Killebrew. And they're blank backed. And we'll shout out Mike at Canadian Cards. He's at 834 subs. These are all great channels. They should all be over 1,000. Next up we have Chicago Cub Great, Stan Hack. And these are the 1936 SNS game cards. You can see it has different options for playing the game on the card. And next shout out will be Eric at the Card Closet. He has 867 subs. Great channel there. He's got a lot of nice sets. Boston Red Sox fan, Lakers fan, Steelers fan. Next up we have 1964 Venezuela, Tony Oliva. That's his second year card. And these are noted for their black backs instead of the orange backs. And the next shout out will be for Amish Dave Archer. He has 822 subs. Of course, he's a good guy. He's from Minnesota, but you can also see him on the Insert Revolution podcast. And there's going to be one other member of that podcast also coming up here. Here's Roberto Clemente, and that's a 63 Tops Peel-Off. This is the version with the instructions on the back. Next shout out is Vintage Sanctuary, Adam. He has 838 subs, and he's got a great channel. Some great Yankee contributors, Barry Bonds cards, Adam Judge, good friend, and check them out. All these channels are great. Next up we have a 69 Top Stamp, Mickey Mantle. Next up we have a 59 Yoo-Hoo, Tony Kubek. And that one has a little bit of the tab on it, but not the entire tab. So next shout out will be Eric at 4 Leaf Cards, 811 subs. Eric's kind of the instigator for a lot of these all-star teams and such that we have on YouTube, and he's also gets a lot of camaraderie going at the National for his little hunt for cards for $5, etc. So check him out. Next up we have a 68 Hank Aaron Bazooka card. And the next shutout is Back to the Cardboard, 843 subs. Check these guys out. I'll have them all listed down below. Here's a 1965 Topps Trade Block Twins, Harmon Killebrew. I have the complete set. Harmon is the only one that's graded. And this is the first. This will be the first of 3 of this card. This is Norval Baptiste and Gladys Lamb. Norval was world champion professional speed skater from about 1905 to 1920. He was in his 40s when somebody finally beat him in a championship. He won nearly every race during that time. And next shout out, Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, 848 subs at the time that I did this video. He's got a lot of good stuff. He has his Jackie Robinson giveaway he does to some of his students at school, and I think that's pretty awesome. Next up we have the Dion Quintuplets with their hockey sticks. Very famous group of quintuplets from Canada. They were national treasure, and the parents couldn't take care of them, so the government stepped in, and that was their national treasure. Just an awesome postcard showing all 5 of them on hockey sticks. It's postmarked 1940 in Canada. Next up we have Dave Campbell. He's a fun channel to watch. He rips open hockey packs, and WNBA packs, Caitlin Clark, Ovechkin. My next card is, we're going to see a few exhibits in this video. Here's this Roberto Clemente's. This is a 63 stat back exhibit. 63 had red stats. My next shout out will be K Cards, another Minnesota YouTuber, 951 subs. Does a lot of various videos, from pack rips to show footage to vintage. Next card up is a 47 through 66 exhibit, Carl Yastrzemski. That's a toughie to get. Next one is a 61 blackback, or 62 blackback, Sandy Koufax. Got the black stats on the back. Next shout out is Henry S, 811 subs. Ted Williams. This one is 47 through 66, because it said, you can't really see it here, but it says printed in USA on the bottom. So that means it was printed after the 1939 through 46 salutation exhibits. There's several of them that cross over, like Joe DiMaggio, and it's surprising to a lot of people that they would sell you. Some of the salutations are also in the 47 through 66 site. And the next shout out is John P. Collects. He has a great collection and he's building. He shows a lot of graded card returns and a lot of pickups from shows. He does some videos with Vintage on Vintage. He has 924 subs as of this. And here's the Ted Williams from the 46 through, or from the 39 through 46. And this has Made in USA on the bottom. The next shout out is Dan's Vintage baseball cards, and he has 944 subs. He's doing really well for since he joined YouTube. You can see him on For Collectors quite often, and he does a Super Collector show pretty much every week, it seems like, and a lot of good information on Dan's channel. Here's a 39-46 Ducky Medwick. Picked this up at the Dallas Card Show. And here's a 1928 Men of America by Stevens and Davis. Bobby Jones, one of the greatest golfers ever, started the Masters. And on the back of the booklet, of course, Honus Wagner from 1928. What does he say? To win, keep your eye on the ball. Makes a lot of sense. And the next one, I have a Mantle DiMaggio postcard from 1970. And this was to honor their plaques in Monument Park, Yankee Stadium in 1970. There's a little story about it on the back. Next up, I did a trade with Matt at the Card Story. He got some Warren Spawns, and I got this Harmon Killebrew Pittsburgh exhibit. Another shout out, Red Rum. He has 883 subs. Great channel. You want to hear some cool guitar playing, or he's even got stuff that's more of curiosities than I do, but he does do a lot of recycling, which is great for you know, we recycle cards all the time, keep them in play. So here's another one of the Norval Baptiste cards. I think they're Pop 3 the last I checked, and I've got all 3 of them. Next shout out is Julie Farnham. She has 882 subs. She does a lot of live pack reveals, a lot of box breaks. Just goes through and shows you what she gets in each box. It's not really a breaker where she sells the cards. She usually ends up giving a lot away to other YouTube friends. Next up, the 1947 through 66 Satchel Paige, which was only printed in 1949. It's great to see a nice picture of, like a full picture of Satchel Paige instead of just a headshot looking off into the distance. Next shout out is AD's Collection. He's got 962 subs. I'd like to see a lot more videos from him. He's got great cards, a lot of bat knobs, nameplates from cards. They're just a fantastic collection. And here's one of the harder Harmon Killebrews to get in the exhibit set, the one with the batting helmet. Had to pay a little bit extra for Harmon, because I just don't see him that often. So next shout out is DK Cardboard. Doug has a really exciting collection, a lot of vintage stuff, pre-war, pre-1900 cards in his collection, Wheaties, He had the old scraps tobacco that he found out they were actually bubblegum cards. Doug's got a lot of good stuff. He also has been seen on Card Room CRL, the Card Room Live with Alex Bowman 53. There's another fun card from exhibits, Boog Powell. That's a little bit tougher to get to. Another shout out for Steve at the Broncos 79. He has 813 subs. He's also on the Insert Revolution podcast. These guys are they're fun to listen to on Tuesday or Wednesday night, somewhere around 8 p.m. Check them out. I'll also put that on there so you can see those guys in the group. Next card is a 1959 Home Run Derby, Bob Allison. This was a gift from Matt at the Card Story. Just a fun card to have. Next up, 1948 Hall of Fame all-time great baseball great Lou Gehrig. One of the few affordable Lou Gehrigs in the exhibit series. His 39 is through the roof, 5 figures, and any of the older ones from the 20s are just as bad, or the 30s. My final shout will be B.D. Kane, 721. He's at 928 subs. So I know most of you probably subbed to most of them guys already, but they deserve all the credit they get, I believe. And the last card, 1926 through 31 exhibit, 4 and 1. Jimmy Fox, Mickey Cochran, Lefty Grove, and Mule Haas, George Haas. This is a postcard back as opposed to the blank back. So, and my final Norval Baptiste card. I still have to do a video on him. He's in the Canadian Ice Skating Hall of Fame. He was born in Canada, but he grew up just down the road from where I grew up. Skated on the river with my grandfather. My grandfather always talked about him, and he ended up being laid to rest pretty close to my grandfather. So thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Adam for the contest, and hope everybody has a great time. Until next time, see ya.